Hello and welcome to In Bloom Tattoo Collective. This is the tattoo shop that I am proud to have opened in 2023 right here in Ottawa, Canada. We are starting in the front lobby. We are in the attic of a heritage home that was built in 1900. It's such a unique space. This is a Victorian build, so every room is uniquely shaped. This one has a super high ceiling with a skylight. And the theme in here is a pink and green maximalist kind of jungle theme, complete with our neon sign, our loud and bold patterned rug, chairs, and furniture. We have an emphasis on brass and gold. A lot of these are antiques that I've found thrifting throughout all my years. But there's also lots of handmade artwork. This is a gouache painting that I did a couple years ago based on a still from the Lord of the Rings Amazon Prime series. This is a chair that I found on Facebook Marketplace. I just thought that it fit the kind of floral on a black ground vibe, which is the main inspiration behind all of In Bloom's marketing. This is a rug from Ruggable. This is the most expensive thing that I bought, hilariously enough, when I opened the place. This is a cast iron mermaid I'm hoping to brush with gold eventually. And this is what you're going to see when you sit down to wait for your tattoo. I'm a big book collector, I'm a big reader, and these are some of my favorite books that I have out for clients to check out while they're waiting for me. We've also got magazines, artist portfolios, and sometimes we even have merch from different artists available for sale in the lobby. I absolutely love Hollywood Regency style, that kind of 80s brass furniture. And this is a really cool upcycled console table that I found on Facebook Marketplace. We have one of my prized possessions, which is that big brass unicorn, as well as that safe space cross stitch that was made for me by a client. Right above it, we have our flash wall, where you can go and book a flash piece from any one of our artists. These are all pre-drawn one-off designs that are available to be booked to tattoo. Next up, we're heading into what I like to call the haunted Victorian hallway. I love maximalism, but I can't have a lot of clutter and items around while I'm in a creative space. So I chose to do all the interior design in the lobby and the hallway in a dark, moody, maximalist style, and the creative rooms are a little bit cleaner and more simple. So in here, I've emphasized queer artwork and medieval, dark kind of tattoo shop vibe stuff. So I have lots of Albrecht Dürer prints. This is the slaying of St. George. We have the famine depiction here with the horse and this spooky guy in the sky there. All of these I got from Little Bones, which is a thrifting and taxidermy place here in Ottawa. I've got this Sirocco shelf, complete with chinoiserie vases and a matching Sirocco mirror and matching Sirocco candlesticks. I've also got those really funky take to the grave old school traditional gold and black plates, which are a prized possession of mine. I'm so stoked to own those. Those are designed by Alex from Take to the Grave, which is a Canadian owned tattoo design company. I own so many of their shirts, strongly recommend. They're a great company with really good quality merch. This tiger face was also found on Facebook Marketplace. I also have another prized possession, which is this In Bloom cross stitch, which was made by local artist Heather Graves. You can find their stuff online. And another Take to the Grave plate. This is the cross stitch I was talking about. I am so fortunate to have so many little gifts from clients all over the shop. Pretty much if it was cross stitch and it's in the shop, then a client made it, which is so lovely. I picked up this print from a local artist whose name I unfortunately don't remember anymore at a local marketplace. I love a good grandma aesthetic, and these pieces I would have found at Value Village. Something just seemed gay here, and I love that. This is by local tattoo artist Kaylee Seaver, and we also have empty frames, which I think kind of lend a regal aspect to the walls, as well as this tarot-inspired piece by C Slack Design, which you can find on Instagram, and a little Frida Kahlo. This is our fire escape, but I've also got a large original painting by Snake Boy, another Ottawa artist. We're now about to head into the tattoo rooms. On the left in front of us, you have the tattoo room. On the right, you have the little turret area, which is the stencil area. So this is where Co and I work side by side. I'm on the right, she's on the left. And those stained glass are original from the 1860s. I have a huge thing for unicorns and I have a huge thing for brass. And so I wanted to bring a little bit of decor into the space without being overwhelming. And so I chose sleek mid-century modern furniture, brass, and keeping the walls fairly clean. Another one of my prized possessions is this sign that I had commissioned by Pascal Arpin. This is a hand-painted work of art that I'm going to just absolutely treasure forever. I don't consider Becky to be a dead name. I consider it more like a middle name. It's still part of me, but I do prefer Byron these days. But that doesn't mean I can't keep this sign on the wall just as a memory of times gone by and an inspiration for the future, because I want to get into sign painting as well. Here's another gift from a client from past years. Going onto the walls, this is a print that I made for the Quebec City Tattoo Convention in 2021, I believe. This is a print from the Moulin Rouge in Paris, and this is one of the art pieces in the shop that I think gets commented on the most. This is a work of art that I found scrolling online, and I hunted down the original artist whose name is lost to time and bought the print from them. I absolutely love this piece. Stevie Nicks is a huge inspiration for me. This was a gift from my client Catherine, and it's a little stained glass mushroom which you can hang in the window. I've got Flash from Fuzzy Wuzums, who is I believe, Montreal or Toronto-based artist. Beautiful, beautiful color work. Strongly recommend giving them a follow because, wow. I fell in love with this print the second I saw it. We have lots of plants in the shop, mostly pothos and things that I cannot kill, like philodendron and snake plants and ZZ plants, mixed in with, of course, all my unicorns, which, if you ask me where I got them, it's always going to be Value Village, Facebook Marketplace, and some of the stuff comes from Restore as well. This little leopard is a Japanese-made ceramics from the 70s, which just makes me laugh so much. They have such weird little faces. And these are two more little brass unicorns that I found probably on Facebook Marketplace as well. More unicorns, of course, mixed in with this pothos, or maybe this one's a philodendron that's just going absolutely nuts. These are, again, I keep saying this, but they're my prized possessions. These are vintage mirrors from the 70s, which I ordered online in an impulse buy. And I try to avoid buying antiques online because I've had them break. But these, I just couldn't resist. I had to take the risk. They remind me so much of The Last Unicorn. I know they're not licensed merch, but if you're looking at this, you just know it has to be inspired, at least, by The Last Unicorn. These are hand-painted mirrors from the 1970s, and I ordered them from an antique store in Toronto. When I say I like unicorns, I'm not lying. I really like unicorns, and I find the brass on this clear sky blue color really adds a little touch of class to the place. I found this tall mirror on Facebook Marketplace for 20 bucks. One of the best finds of my life. And over it, we've got this flying Pegasus. Moving on, we are looking at the wall right across from the windows. We have a white husky full of supplies and my banner, which I made for the Ottawa Tattoo Convention last year. This has a flash piece that I painted way back in the day, as well as the shop and my little motto, which is tattoos even your grandma will love, because there is nothing truer than this statement right here. Nothing makes me happier than people who come back and say, you know what, you were right. My grandma did like this tattoo. Yes, my goal in life is complete. All I ever wanted was to make all the grandmas happy in all the world. Moving on to the stencil room. This is probably my favorite room in the shop. It's unique. It's small. I didn't know originally what we were going to do with it, but I put a glass drafting table here, which has a little graveyard of little items that need to be repaired. We have our Monstera, which is growing like gangbusters because of the radiators. Over the winter, all our plants grow like wild because of the radiator heat. This is an ad that I found from 1935 in a thrift store in Montreal, which I had framed. And here's our little printer situation. We've got our Brother printer there, and then our 2 stencil printers, as well as stencil paper mounted on the wall. We also have some extra little artwork and some funny little flash that we decided to pin up on the wall there. This is another piece from Take to the Grave. It's a little butterfly banner with moths and some fringe at the bottom. Now we're going to head into the bathroom. So we walked back out into the Victorian hallway, and now we're about to go into the bathroom, which I decided to just go nuts with. I wanted a really bright, colorful bathroom because it's kind of dark in there. This is hand painted on leather by an artist in the UK whose name I've, of course, have forgotten and can't re-find. Here's another little cross stitch that was so generously made for me as a gift. And this is something that makes me laugh every time I'm sitting in the bathroom. I absolutely love this. I commissioned this from Heather Graves, who made the In Bloom cross stitch. This is a tin sign that I found at an antique store in Ottawa that recently closed. This is a gouache painting that I made, and I decided to frame with this gorgeous bronze piece. And these are other local artists as well, whose names I cannot remember. I did get this botanical print from Little Bones as well. And here's a little look at the mural that I painted very, very quickly a couple years back, as well as a gorgeous dragon in pastel drawn by Co. Blouin. These are cutouts that I found from magazines that were sold individually by the page at this really funky thrift store in Columbus, Ohio, when I was there to perform at Fierce Queer Burlesque Festival a couple of years ago. And I am so excited to have found these. Tom of Finland is one of my very favorite artists of all time. I love this style and yeah, just thrilled to find them. Thank you so much for joining me for this tour of the shop. I'm thinking about going in depth a little more on each room, but here's what we have to start. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.